Now, there's only a couple reasons why you clicked on this video. 1, you're trying to find Joel Goldberg. 2, you're trying to find Dexter Morgan. Or 3, you're trying to find that crazy ass person just to see if they're a fucking manipulator. Now, whether you clicked on the right or wrong video, I don't know, but you clicked on it, you're here. So just watch the whole thing. Now, before you catch a manipulator, you have to notice the steps, the signs, and the stages you're in. These are the 3 general rules that you need to follow to assess yourself, just to see where you're at. And if you don't find yourself in any of these stages, then you're safe. You don't got Dexter Morgan on your ass. Stage number 1 is the assessment and the luring stage. This is how they categorize you, and this is how they get you. This is how they hook you. This is how they can get you obsessed. This is how they can basically control your emotions. This is how they get to you. Stage number 2 is the manipulation tactics, and where they get you to do what they say without you even knowing. Anyway, stage number 3 is where they consolidate control, and this is where they completely exploit you to the max. Now, there's different types of manipulators. You got your Dexter Morgans, you got your Joe Goldberg, you got assessment and luring stage. Now, in this stage, this is where they observe you and they figure out ways to lure you in. This is how they trap you. This is how they hook you in the first place. Now, the manipulator pays close attention, and I mean very, very close attention to literally everything that you do, as long as they see it. I mean, if they don't see you going to the bathroom at 11 p.m. every single day, then how are they gonna know? They pay very close attention to your actions, your reactions, your verbal and your non-verbal cues. And I'll keep repeating it if I have to. Very closely to your patterns, your insecurities, and your emotional triggers. How would they find this out if they don't talk to you at all? I promise you they're gonna talk to you. I promise you they're gonna talk to you. And you're not gonna know that they're even a manipulator in the first place. The moment they start asking questions, they already got basically all the information they need. The moment they start asking just a couple of questions, they already got all the info they need. Having a little bit more info is just the cherry on the ice cream top, literally. Now, how do you know if you're getting manipulated? I know that's a hard question. Now, every time someone comes up to you and be like, oh, they're manipulating me, they're asking me questions. No, don't be a dumbass. No, but the thing is, there's very subtle cues that let you know who they really are. Now, I'm gonna be making a ebook about this. It's gonna be free for everyone. This isn't just to figure out who manipulators are, but this is also literally just to increase your awareness, to literally increase your intelligence. And I'm gonna have more videos done on how you can increase your intelligence, basically how to be good at everything, literally how to be good at everything. Now, being good at everything doesn't start with your body, it starts with your mind. It starts with this. But anyways, back to the video. Now, something else that the manipulator can do is literally do their online research. It's as simple as grabbing your Instagram, looking up literally everything. I mean, the moment they find your Instagram and you know they're a manipulator, it's wraps. Now, the second part of this first stage is the luring part. This is how they hook you. This is how they make you want more of them. This is how they keep you. This is how they keep you locked up in that Joel Goldberg glass cage. Now, some people are kinky like that. You know, they want to be locked up. Not me. Now, how do they get you? You're probably wondering, how do they get you? Well, they start off by their charm, their flattery, sharing similar interests, if not the exact same interests. They try to be very empathetic, even though in reality, it's hard for them to feel feelings, if that makes sense. It's like the Dexter Morgan effect. It's not actually an effect, I just made it up. But Dexter Morgan can't really feel emotions. He can understand emotions, but he can't feel it. Does that make sense? He can understand why someone gets mad, but he can't feel any way towards it. I hope that makes sense. Now, manipulators come in different forms and sizes. You know, some are very athletic people. Some are very unathletic people. Tall, small, it doesn't matter. They can exploit you if they catch you lacking. Now, in reality, how do they catch you? Well, it just depends on, technically it depends on you. the person, how you are. Who knows, maybe if you're a really rude person in general, maybe they do the opposite and they start being extremely nice to you. It gets to you, you start being nice back, and now all of a sudden you start liking them, and all of a sudden they start being rude now. If they get you to like them that way and you're not all there, it happens, but you will get hooked. There's manipulators find their way. They're not stupid, they're extremely smart, and smart but not in a good way. Now comes the manipulation stage. Now there isn't much needed to say. The name speaks for itself. It's just what they might do when they manipulate you. Now every manipulator is different. They might have different versions of these manipulation tactics, but right now I'm just gonna let y'all know the different types of manipulation tactics that there is. Number one, gaslighting. We already know what this is. We know what this is. Come on now. Don't act. Y'all know what this is. I don't need to explain it. Guilt tripping. We know what this is too. Playing the victim. Love bombing. Isolation. Now, this one I can't explain. This one I could explain. Isolation. What do they mean exactly by isolation? Isolation as in they isolate you. They get you farther away from your family. They get you farther away from your friends. And most importantly, they get you farther away from yourself. In this strategy, in this tactic that they might use against you, they literally find ways to create conflict so that you can break off the supporters that are actually with you. Now, this conflict may come out of nowhere, or it may randomly, unexpectedly just come out of nowhere. And it will be literally the most unexpected thing you never would have thought would ever happen. Now, what would be a good example of this? A manipulator, a guy, maybe with a girl, the victim. Now, in this situation, let's say the mom is the biggest supporter of this girl, and the manipulator realizes this. The manipulator wants to exploit the girl, but he can't really do so effectively because of the fact that the mom is very intelligent, the mom is very smart. What would the manipulator want to do? He's going to want to cut the ties with the mom. He wants to cut out any relation between the two. So what would he do? He'll create problems. He'll create conflict. He will literally create traps. And the girl will fall right for them. Now, this isn't just for the girl. This is for the guy too. It can happen to anyone. If you're not that intelligent, or if you're not all the way here. That's why I'm making an ebook. Again, I'll repeat it again. I'm making an ebook about this, so y'all don't have to go through this. Now, if you go through this, then I don't think you really paid enough attention to the ebook. That's free. Listen, it's free. Free. Now, the next tactic is intermediate reinforcement. What is intermediate reinforcement? This one I can explain as well. Intermediate reinforcement is unexpected wins and unexpected punishments to the victim. This is something that the manipulator will do to the victim. Now, what are examples of this? Honestly, it could be a lot of things. This one isn't very, very specific, but the rules of this tactic are the same. They're similar. There you go. You're in this. Here you go. You said my mama fat? Oh, here you go. That'd be a good example. That's a good example. The next tactic, projection. This one is also self-explanatory. Y'all should know about this already. But if you don't, here's a simple little summary. Projection. The manipulator basically projects their own negatives towards you. So if the manipulator's cheating, it'll project it over to the victim, and now the victim is apparently cheating even though they're not. This is projecting. The next one, triangulation. This tactic, y'all should know what this is already, but if you don't know what this is just, I guess, a fancy way of saying it. But triangulation is basically bringing in a third party. What is a third party? It could be basically the manipulator is flirting with other people and making you jealous, making you think this, making you think that. Basically is what it is. Y'all should know this. The next tactic, and probably not the last, selective disclosure. Now, selective disclosure, this is where they get real. This is where they might share a deep down rooted trauma that they've had, some type of bad memory, something to really get you to open up. Now, when they get you to open up, it's kind of GG's, because the information they're giving you could have been fake, but it could have been real at the same time. They don't say stuff that will get them exposed or that will get them known as a manipulator. So they will be very limited to what they disclose. They get you to open up, you open up. Now what? Now they hold on to that information and they use it against you. Now that they got you hooked, now that they captured you, they trapped you, they got information on you. Now what? Here comes the consolidated control and the exploitation. Now in this stage, this is when the manipulator literally leeches onto your skin and sucks you dry.
Pause.
This is when they solidify their influence over you and they start using you for their own gains. This is where they regulate, maintain, and control your emotions for their benefit. This is all to fulfill the manipulator's desires and wants. Nothing else, nothing less. Now I'm gonna give you some of the tactics that are a little more engraving onto the victim. This is some of the things that they will do to literally make it nearly impossible, if not impossible, for the victim to leave or escape. Isolation. Now, if you thought the isolation at the beginning was strong, this one's even stronger. This is literally where they crush you. They literally crush your mindset. They crush your brain. They belittle you. They undermine you. They kill the victim's self-esteem. This allows the victim to literally have to rely on the manipulator. It makes them more susceptible to mind control. Now we're getting into the part where it's not just mind games. This is literally where they start using you. Literally start using you. Exploitation of resources. Now, this is literally where they start using your money. Now they have control over your money, your car, your house, everything that you own. They use the target's source of income. They even use them as labor sometimes. Can you believe that? They use this so they can force you to provide even when you don't feel like it. Why? Because it makes it harder and harder and harder to leave. Their fangs only get deeper and deeper and deeper into your skin until you kill the source of whoever's engraving those teeth into your skin. You will not get those fangs out. Don't try to pull out the fangs. It's only gonna get deeper. Kill the person that's engraving those fangs in you. I don't mean literally kill them. Don't kill anyone. Unless you have to self-defend yourself against, Dexter. Then it makes sense. The next tactic, coercion and threats. Very simple, self-explanatory. They threaten you. They threaten to blackmail you, possibly hurt you, kill you, if anything, kill your mom, kill your dad. Very simple. It's threats. This is another form of an infinite cycle. The cycle of abuse. In the cycle of abuse, this is where they maintain a cycle to where they abuse you, they do what they want, literally manipulate you. Then they get to a sign of remorse. They get to the cycle of where they're chill, they're calm, and all of a sudden, when you least expect it, boom! You're manipulated again. Nice going, Rebecca. Now, this is just another one of the manipulation tactics. Gaslighting and denial. You guys already know about the gaslighting and denial. It's literally just worse. Not only do they continue to gaslight and deny, they start to get facts and they start twisting it in their own ways. They may change history a little bit. And what do you mean by change history? They might not necessarily change history, but they change the meaning to make it fit their own narrative. For example, one person may see me give chocolate to one of my friends. That's part of the history. It happened 2 weeks ago. Then, the next day, another friend comes by and they realize that whoever I gave candy to, whoever I gave the chocolate to, used that chocolate to slap someone. I don't know why you'd waste good ass chocolate to slap someone, but he slapped someone. Now, this is where the twisting in history comes out. The manipulator will say, oh, well, you gave me the chocolate, so you smacked the person. You see what I mean? That's what I mean by twisting. Now, there's a lot more tactics, but I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty. Detecting a manipulator is recognizing whether they are attempting to manipulate you or someone else. Now, for part 2 of this video, if you guys really want a part 2, it's gonna cost you about -2 likes. If we can get -2 likes, I'll make another video.